Hey everyone, I'm Brian, and this is part 3 of my series where I'm reviewing projects that I've made for my channel. The first anniversary of my channel is coming up at the end of the month, so I'm going back and taking a look at everything I've made in the past year. Alright, so these pieces are from the video I made talking about the mess that was left on and near my property over the 4th of July holiday last year. I don't have the base for the project because I reused it for something else, but I still have the 3D printed objects that I made to talk about the project. And this was the first project that I made as like a story time to go with it, and honestly I wasn't sure I was gonna do it that way, but I was like really annoyed because my neighbors or other people left a bunch of like beer bottles and used fireworks like directly on my property and in the road near my property line, and it was a huge mess that I had to clean up. And some of my neighbors thought it was me because while I was out there picking up all this garbage that someone else had left out there, one of my neighbors came up and said, "Oh, why'd you make a big mess?" And I'm like, dude, it wasn't me. I wasn't even here during the holiday. I was actually, visiting other people. So I said, "Did you see what was going on?" And like, no. So yeah, I mean, that was like really annoying. But making that like story time video, like making a project with a story behind it, gave me idea to do more things like that in the future. So this little forest altar thing right here, this was the first time I updated a project for my channel. Well, also just updating a project in general. So I started making this in 2021. It's made just from like a square wood like drink coaster, and I made the rocks out of some XPS foam, and this tree was made from some wrapped aluminum foil covered with hot glue. It's kind of like a weird curly shape to it. So, and the tree had more of these like gangly branches, but I didn't really like the look of it, and I hadn't been making diorama stuff for very long, so I wasn't happy with how it was. But I picked it up again last year, and then just all I really did was actually I removed a bunch of things. I took off some of the branches, I changed the shape of the foam, just added some like a new paint layer, and then added some of this model scenery flocking to it. And actually, a lot of it's like falling off. Actually, wow, a lot of it's falling off. Anyway, yeah, I'm happy with how this updated version turned out. And I got another subscriber from this video, so at that point in time I had 4 subscribers, and the video passed 100 views, and most of those views came within like the first couple of days, and then they tapered off. But yeah, so this was a pretty interesting piece, and this is what started like my idea of like updating my old projects I never finished, or updating projects like early projects. I mean, as you've seen, if you saw my other videos in this series, I used some of my older projects I put on my channel to make new projects. So that idea started with this one. This little project was an interesting case. This is my mushroom rock project, and it's really simple. It's just another plastic raft, and I made this rock out of just a really thin piece of discarded XPS foam. I painted it, and I put just a tiny bit of PVA glue to make this little water puddle. And the little mushrooms here are made from just beads of hot glue that I put on my silicone mat. I peeled them off and then stuck them onto the ends of some wood toothpicks. And yeah, that was just about it. But this video got 3 likes, which at the time was the most likes I got on any of my videos, and I got another subscriber, so I was up to 5 at that point in time. And I kind of put this project together at the last minute, and I was really surprised that it was, well, at the time, I mean, my channel is still pretty small, but back then it was even smaller. So I thought, wow, I mean, a lot of people really like this project for some reason. But yeah, that was pretty cool. Even though this was just like really, really basic. I really like this project. It's like my lava flow project. The base was made from several leftover plastic rafts hot glued together, but I made this rocky lava terrain texture from just like a sheet of corkboard. And I ripped it up, or I traced the outline of the base and I ripped up the pieces and glued them on here so to make sure they all fit. And then the lava river was made from just melted hot glue that I painted with different glow-in-the-dark paints. I made a similar project like this a long time ago. I don't think I used the corkboard for it. I used something else that was kind of rough in texture, but yeah, I really liked how this project turned out. So the video got about 100 views in the first couple of days, and then it pretty much tapered off after that. And at this point I noticed for most of my videos, the views would be coming in the first couple of days and then it would falter off, or they wouldn't really get a lot of views in the beginning, but then they'd keep getting views as time went on. Yeah, so when I published this video, it was also the first time I noticed that YouTube had put ads on any of my videos. When I clicked on it, an ad played. Then after I watched the video, another ad played, and I didn't put them there. And I wasn't notified by YouTube that any ads were being put on my videos. And I noticed that the ads were put on my videos that had like more than 100 views. Well, not all of them, but most of the videos with over 100 views had ads on them and the other videos didn't. So I wasn't really sure. I mean, I really just wanted to disable the ads because, you know, I'm not getting any ad revenue from any of these things. So I just wanted to like try to disable them so my viewers wouldn't see them, but I couldn't figure out how to do that. So it's like, okay, well, whatever, I guess you're gonna have to watch like a 10-second ad. But this video also got me another subscriber, so at this point I was up to 6. All right, I don't have this project anymore. So this was my Reef project that I actually made as a commission. I had made a similar project like a really long time ago, and I had it on my desk at work, and then someone saw it and like, oh, can you make me something like that? I'm like, okay, sure. So I gave it to them. So I just have the little Shelder Pokemon that I printed with my 3D printer, then I painted it. Well, actually, this is the second one. I painted the one that was in the video. I gave it to the person who asked for the diorama piece, and then I made a second one just for my little Shelder, just for myself. But this project took me up until that point took me the longest to do because of all the prep work and the time I had to wait for the glue to dry and then the acrylic spray to dry. Oh, you know, the acrylic spray almost ruined the entire project because I used a piece of XPS foam to make like the rock for the diorama piece, and then I painted it. But then in order to give the diorama like a wet look, I used like an acrylic spray and I covered the whole thing. I've done that before with other projects, like not really for my channel, but just for fun. And I didn't think about it, but yeah, the solvents in the spray melted the foam. I mean, I thought the layers of acrylic paint were enough to protect it, but the spray just leached through it and totally melted the foam. It looked really weird, and the person who wanted it, I said, hey, look, I can start over and make you a new one because I don't like what happened to the foam. But they're like, no, it's okay. I really like it. It looks more natural this way. So, you know, they were happy with it. I mean, even though I wasn't, and I was like, ugh, you know, they're gonna keep this, and it's like, okay. Well, I mean, it turned out all right in the end. But that was the first project I made, well, in a video I put on my channel where I ended up giving away the project to someone. And yeah, I haven't really used the acrylic sprays after that, just because I'm like really cautious about that. But Yeah, that was an interesting learning experience. And oh yeah, this video also had a couple of ads on it. So I just thought to myself, all right, I guess my videos are gonna have ads now and I'm not getting a cut of any of that. All right, well, thanks for watching my video. Again, like I said, this is part 3 of my review series. Part 4 is coming up next, and that set of projects is actually has some really interesting stories behind them and how they've done on my channel. So I'm really excited to talk about those. So stay tuned for that video, which should be posted on my channel in a couple of days.